Hello everyone. Me and Ishita have teamed up for our final project as a part of our course in PSUIO on onboarding cloud with the Google Cloud platform. And today we will be using Cloud Data Labs to work with notebooks, to create notebooks and manage them. So let's get started with what a data lab is. Data lab is basically this interactive developing environment that is used for data analysis and machine learning extensively. It is used for data analysis on BigQuery. BigQuery is this another fully stacked, managed serverless warehouse that is used. And as you can see, it is used for data exploration, analysis, visualization, machine learning, and it uses notebooks instead of text files containing code because notebooks are much easier to work with in collaborations. So today's objective is to create a data lab instance in a Docker container, which is already present in a VM, virtual machine. Oh, one second. When we create when we create the data lab instance, so Google Cloud adds this data labs notebooks cloud source repository to our project. It is given a name and it is added to our project in the current you know Google Cloud platform website that we're using. And the repository is remote. It's a Git repository contained in the Docker container of the virtual machine. This one.
So we will store the cloud data notebooks in Google Cloud Source Repo, which is a Git repository, as Hita mentioned. And the system clones this Git repository onto a persistent disk, which is attached to our VM. So the clone is a workspace where you can add, remove, and modify files. To share your work with others, we can commit changes in our VM workspace and then use the Git client to push our changes to the cloud source repo. So notebooks are automatically saved to our persistent disk. And in our project, we'll be creating and connecting to our cloud data lab, and we'll also be doing some more tasks associated with our cloud data lab notebooks. Um, so the Cloud Data Lab container, it includes Ungit, which is a web-based Git client, which allows us to make commits to the Cloud Data Lab VM repo and push notebooks to the Cloud Remote repo from our Cloud Data Lab browser UI. So we'll we'll create notebooks and commit and push the notebooks to the Cloud Data Lab VM repo. Let's get started with our lab.
Yeah, we included screenshots that we just did a while back just for future reference, but we will also showcase this slide. So let's go on to, can you see the screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's start. We figured we'd rather use lab because it's a little safer that way. Is that your copy paste? We'll be using Cloud Shell for most of our commands in the console.
So first we'll be creating our data lab instance, which is called My Data Lab. Oh, oops.
No, go back. Oh, I think you clicked on that the link on the taskbar, the bookmark basically.
Yeah.
I'll get the shell started. Oh, we have to. Okay, the terms and conditions. Yeah.
One second, I'll just be back. Ah, yes.
Yeah, I'll create the data lab and then
Mm.
uh, the data lab create, and we can give a name for the data lab. Let's just say my data lab. So this gives us a lot of zones. So let's enter the C in US Central. That is 7, right?
Yeah, 7. We have pasted a screenshot of this also. You guys can go through it in our PPT.
Why is it taking so long?
Yeah. In next step also it'll take long.
Like creating firewall rule. We can do all this from from the console also. Creating, yeah. So now you can see that it's created the Git repository called Data Lab Notebooks. And here we can host all our files or code, whatever we want to run. Okay, yes. Um,
Enter.
yeah, passphrase. Whoa, oh, oh. What happened?
Mm.
1 second. Yeah, go back. Yeah, I'll just click enter. Yeah, okay. We have to change the port to 8081.
when it's finished, when it's created the data lab instance, then
Yeah, yeah.
this takes longer.
Yeah. Again. Actually, whatever notebooks we make, and then we access them using Ungit with a interface, a proper interface, and we have cells where we code. We can do the same thing in the SSH terminal of our instance. We are using command line interface. Obviously, we can do replicate the same thing, but here today we will be using Ungit so that it's a better viewing experience. Until that, I'll just exit out. Yeah. Mm, Ishta, where can we see the instance, the data lab instance? Where do we open it?
um, I'm not sure actually. Try. Oh wait, some date. No, no, no. First of all, it has to be created now. One sec.
Yeah. Or yeah, just go to the VM instance. Or else. Yeah, its localhost is 8081. Yeah, port 8081.
Okay, so I'll go to um, web preview and
Yeah,
I'll change the port.
yeah, that was what I was looking for. Just a second. That is just,
So
yeah. Continue.
now we go
Right.
to notebook.
No, we have data lab notebooks. Yeah.
We enter the notebooks and we see that there's already a readme.md file created. And now we are going to create our own notebook and commit it to uh, the Git repository.
Using Unkit, yeah. New notebook, yeah.
Hita can do the honors of writing the code.
Yeah, okay, so we have we just have a sample code just ready just to show that it's working and it's running on cloud, no, the Data Lab notebook. So I'll just enter the code in this cell. This part is commented, it's not needed. Right. So this
This
is
code is
just, yeah, continue.
no, it's okay. Say.
Okay, I was saying the code is just, for students to just enter the marks per student wise in a list that already contains roll numbers. So if you enter an invalid one, it doesn't take it. If you enter a valid roll number, it allows you to enter marks for various subjects and then it gives you an average. So I'll run, yeah, running. So it already, Ishita, will you run it? Like, will you?
Yeah, fine.
So it shows that there's already a list of roll numbers of so and 5 students. So she entered 101, so that it took it since it's a valid one, it's taken it up, and now she's entering physics, maths, chem, uh, computers, and bio marks. Wow, right. And then it just gives an average. And since we ran an infinite loop, so it just keeps taking in. So now if I enter, one sec, yeah, if I enter an invalid one, it says that it's invalid and out of bounds exiting. So now I'm again prompted to enter a valid one. So that it keeps going on and it's continuously running and it'll keep running till we exit out of the program. We can also switch the kernel here to Python 3, but Python 2 is working, so it's fine. Uh, okay.
So now we can
Yeah,
ungit this.
yeah, and git and commit.
First, let's save it. Okay, so you can see that there is a new notebook here,
Yeah,
and
save it as something. It's a Jupyter notebook. IPIM.
right.
We click on this. Yeah, yeah.
Let's call it project.
Hmm. And dot I no extension.
No, no.
Okay. So now we'll go here, right?
Hmm. We need to click the ungit icon in the repository,
Yeah.
which is this. Yeah, Hita, you can commit this to the Git repo.
Okay. So GitHub is basically this web-based client, Git client that we can actually use to make changes, modify changes to our files, and then commit to it. Stash those changes. We can put them in staging area and then commit them. And we can also further on share them so that someone else can pull it and work on it on their own remote PC. So so this was the last commit was basically when we just pasted the code. So um,
You
right,
need to give a
we need to
title.
make we need to make a change, right? Okay, I'll just say, should I say project
Yeah, fine. This
and
is a
body? Huh?
this is a committing message, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
you can give anything.
yeah. Right.
So now that we have committed it, we can see in master,
Yeah, and it also
like,
provides you a log history of all the commits, their messages in time recorded. Yeah, and yeah, that plus
by
icon. Yeah,
by committing it, we committed it to the staging area, and now we're going to push it to the repository. Yep, it's pushed.
and yeah, this was also in the presentation. Uh, this exact same part. We can also commit to different branches. For that, we'll have to check it. Change the branch from master branch to the domain branch, and then do right. Uh, that's it.
Yep, so yeah, that
That's
is
it.
our
Yeah.
project. Yeah.
We could really do the same thing by using a command line interface using the SSH of that instance. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, back to our presentation. Ishita, a word or two on acknowledgements. These are just represented. Yeah, these are just screenshots of what we just did. We created the data lab instance, entered our zone, and it gave us a random art image. Set it up the all the SSH, the networks, the firewalls, and we could enter on a new notebook, create. Uh, yeah, and this was just a code, and that's the output. And here a new commit and the message of the commit and pushing it. Yep. Yeah. Please.
So, like, we are really grateful and thankful to the PESO.io management team for providing us the opportunity place for learning something new. We were exposed and introduced to so many new terms, concepts, vast fields of the Google platform, cloud platform. And a very, very big thank you to our SME,
Uh,
Akshobhya, who patiently and promptly answered every question we had, whether it was online class, offline class, and even direct messages, day or night. He was always there. So we got a hands on experience on the Google Cloud environment, which we otherwise would not be known and be introduced to. So he made this course such an enriching one and guided us through this platform. And through this course, though this course is complete, our journey in this field isn't. So catch us questing.
yeah. This was, I never thought that cloud computing and the things that you could do with cloud would be so vast and literally limitless. I mean, the amount of data you could, analyze and work with is wow. And Google Cloud Platform is really one of those big three. It's used by such big companies and enterprises for their business. So it's opened us to this new field of infrastructure. And now, since if we have our concepts right and we know what we're doing, then we can actually implement this on any web-based cloud services platform, whether it's Google Cloud or AWS, and even Azure. So yeah, this is really great. Thank you very much, Akshobhya, again. This course was possible, I'm sure, because of you. And what drew me in the first place was the video that I saw on the website, Besu.io website, that really made me think that yes, I do want to learn about this. This is interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. I do agree with you.
Thank you again. Should I stop recording?
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.